Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining from. We are ready to get things going. It's going to be a fun morning slash probably spill into my afternoon here. So the deal with this stream is I have a pile of these Miracast devices to test, and I figured might as well do this live and get some ideas from you all as well for things that you want to know about them as well. So let me back up a second and talk about what these things actually are. So as you probably know, I've been using a Chromecast for my live streams for showing the chat on the screen. I, of course, don't have that hooked up today because it's in my hand right here. Plus, you'll see in a second what's going on my desk. But this has been working. It works fine. However, the problem is the Chromecast only outputs an encrypted signal, HDCP. So it doesn't work directly with the A10 Mini, and you have to go through a splitter to remove HDCP, which is hard to find those because they're not exactly legal. Well, they're not legal to be sold. So there's this sort of other class of products with its own little protocol in here, Mirascreen, and it works very similar to a Chromecast where it's like a display extender thing. So in theory, I should be able to use one of these devices to also share chat into the stream. And with any luck, I can find one that doesn't force itself into HDCP mode so that it works directly with the A10 Mini. So I was curious about that, and I did some digging. I found a bunch of these products, and thankfully, Banggood was nice enough to send these all out to me. So I've got a pile of them on my desk here. And you can see that they are definitely a range of quality of device and branding. This one, for example, says Google Chromecast, and it is definitely not a Google Chromecast. So we're going to see what's up with that when we get to that one. And we're going to go ahead and plug them all into the A10 Mini, plug them into a monitor I have here as well. I have a little monitor I can use to see what's going on, and then here's my ATEM plugged in, and I've got the cables for those here. So we will be able to see what they all do and how they work, and yeah. So if you are joining live, I have a link to, or I guess even afterwards, there's a link to a spreadsheet in this description. I added it like 5 minutes before we started, so if you were on the page before that, you might have to refresh to see that link. And that is where I'm going to be collecting the test results. So I don't have my computer plugged into the stream, so I won't be able to share my screen onto the stream. So you'll want to make sure that you are following that spreadsheet if you care about the results of this. And with any luck, we'll walk away with this with an idea of which of these is going to be a good option for people who want to do things like sharing chat into live streams. So who we have in the chat here? Rick from Minneapolis. Hello. Hello, Dave. Hi, Kim from Finland. Steve from windy, rainy Northern California. Yeah, it's rainy, not super windy today. It's super rainy in Portland, Oregon today, and I had to bike here in the rain, and that was not exactly the most pleasant ride. Hello, Christian from Belgium. Hello, Patrick from Philadelphia. Oh, I see Bart is here. Awesome. Thanks for joining. Boris from Hamburg, Germany. Cool. So sorry, I don't have the map or the chat or anything plugged in because, as you can see from my desk, I'm on just the one stream, the one A10 Mini today. I've turned off the noisy rack because the fan's coming in today. So I'm just streaming directly from this, plugged into that monitor. Nothing fancy today. Main camera, overhead camera, and then my camera so you can see what I'm doing here and what I'm plugging into the devices. And then of course the fourth input is not used yet because that is what's going to be testing all these little devices. So I do want to talk about some other things you might want to do with these things. So as I've said, I've been using the Chromecast for showing chat, and the way that works is I basically have a tab open on my laptop, and I can share a specific tab from Chrome into the Chromecast. And I prefer doing that over a full screen mirroring or screen display extending, because what it means is that I can actually have a window on my main screen, and then it does not have to be in the foreground, and it'll keep sharing to that device. That's a cool thing about using the Chrome's built-in like tab sharing, I forget what they call it, casting. So the some of these support that, some of these don't. We're going to find out which ones do and do not. The other thing is some of them do support like Apple AirPlay as well, so we'll find out about that. And we're going to see how well they work with Chrome. Simon asks, is it me or does the main camera colors look really weird? Yeah, so I'm on the Blackmagic camera today. I'm trying to get this all eventually set up to be my permanent camera here. And I'm using just like one of the default LUTs. So it's probably very different from my normal colors. It looks okay to me, but like my background is actually green. That's a green light back there, right? You can see that. But I've got normal lighting on my face. Should look mostly normal. And but yeah, definitely different from the Lumix GH5S colors that I normally use on that tripod. Eventually, one of these days, I'm going to get all of this finally permanently installed and wired up so that I can stream from the main thing and have more inputs and stuff. So yeah, I haven't super dialed in the colors. I haven't even tried to make them match the Lumix. I don't know if I will. We'll find out. I'm planning on doing some more tweaking with that later. But for now, this is more or less the sort of stock. I have done a little bit of adjustments. The other thing is I can now control the camera from my ATEM, which is cool. I'm seeing that it is a little contrasty. Is it too much? I might be able to actually change that from the ATEM. There is dialing down the contrast. That's not looking good at all. Dialing up the contrast. Oh, that's cool. Yep. Let's go just down a touch. And then maybe a touch lower on the saturation. Maybe that. Okay. That's decent. So yeah, like I said, oh yeah, I guess I could be overexposed. Let me drop it down. I can also do that from the phone now, thanks to their Bluetooth app control, which is pretty cool. I don't want to change my shutter speed because then that light will start flickering because that is blinking at 50 hertz. So I could stop down the aperture. Okay, we're going to stop messing with that now. Okay, back to business. So the story for these, again, I'll drop a link to the spreadsheet in the chat as well in case you don't have the description loaded. So there's a spreadsheet I'm going to be using. And we've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think these are the same. I don't know why 2 showed up. So 4. And then I have a real Chromecast, which is now the old generation. And I also have the new generation Chromecast, which is slightly different. So we're going to talk about the differences between these and the advantages of each. All right, that's enough of the intro. Let's start opening these up. So let me make a list in the spreadsheet of which ones we actually have. We've got this one is called G10. So this is a Mirascreen G10. Then we've got, oh, and I did put links to all these in the video description too. Here's a Mirascreen, just says Mirascreen. It doesn't say a model number on this one. It says firmware upgrade on the corner. These are not expensive devices either, which is kind of why I'm interested in finding one of these that'll work well. I'm gonna have so many USB cables. Okay, let's not lose track of what came in what box. I was looking for a model number on this, but I don't see one here either. So this is just going to be called Mirascreen, maybe process of elimination, based on the links I put in the video. One of them should be a G12. So that might be the G12. Okay, and then that's the actual Chromecast. This one says Google Chromecast, and it's definitely not. But if you look at it on the top, it's got a C. The Chromecast has a, where's the light? The actual Chromecast has a G. It's kind of hard to see. So this one we're gonna call it, gosh, what is the name of this? No, that's the Anycast. I don't know what this one's called. Okay, let's see what's inside. Another one of these things. Okay, definitely meant to look like a Chromecast. It just says wireless display. I'm going to keep that manual, it might be useful. We're going to call it, yeah, Faux Chromecast. Look at that. They did a very close recreation. Not perfect. A little bigger, too. Lighter, also. Faux Chromecast. Okay, so that's this one. I think that's the same one. That's all that's in that box. And then we have this one is called Anycast. Cast anything to the big screen. So same form factor as the Mirascreen. In fact, I'm guessing it might actually be the same device inside. And then I guess this is a Wi-Fi antenna. That's interesting. Okay. So don't lose this cable, apparently. Anycast. And then, yeah, this one was the G10. I haven't opened it yet. Let's open that up. I have just a mess of plastic on the floor. I like the little shiny. Okay, so it's also got one of these antennas, and then, oh, it's very light. Very, very light. Okay. That one goes there. So those are the ones we're going to try out. So again, I want to say thanks to Banggood for sending these out to me to test, because I am very curious to find out which one of these is the best. And I did leave links to all these that you can buy in the description, but you should probably wait to buy one until we know more about them. All right, what are we going to test with these things? We're going to see Foamcast, Ccaster, also the actual Chromecast, right? The Chromecast 2. So actual Google Chromecast and Google Chromecast 2. The audio is struggling. Did I mess up the audio somehow? Hello? What's happening? Is it? Sounds fine. Yeah. I'm on the Rode Wireless Go today, and there is a printer running behind me, a 3D printer, so you might be hearing that a little bit, but it shouldn't be too bad. Okay. Actual Chromecast and Chromecast 2, that's their newest version. Things we're going to test. So I'm going to add some columns to this spreadsheet about what we're going to find out. We're going to say what is the resolution that it outputs? What is the frame rate that it outputs? At least by default, based on what I just plugged, what monitor is plugged into there. We're going to find out does it force HDCP like the Chromecast, because we don't want that. A negative for the original Chromecast, which I want to find out about the new Chromecast. These all appear to be powered via micro USB, which is fine. I don't really care that it's not USB-C. But the original Chromecast, you have to use their power brick. And as far as I can tell, there is zero good reason for this. But literally, it does not work unless you plug it into their own power brick, which is very annoying because then I can't plug it into like a hub or a breakout with a bunch of USB ports, and I have to waste a wall outlet on it. So none of these came with AC adapters, so that's nice. I'm going to find out with the new Chromecast as well. So this is the power adapter for the new Chromecast. And actually, they did something cool here, which is the default one that you get comes with an Ethernet jack in it. So you can actually wire it to a network. You're not stuck with just a wireless Wi-Fi. You can buy that for the original Chromecast as well, but then you have to spend extra money. So we're going to say, we're going to add a column for generic USB power. And we're going to, what else? I think that's it. I guess we should find out if these ones can work without the little Wi-Fi antenna, although I'm guessing not, because I'm guessing it won't have Wi-Fi if I don't have the little antenna thing. Let me know your other questions. Okay, so some people are still saying this is short. Maybe I'll just turn down the gain. It could be just that this microphone is a little hot. Okay. Can you cast Chrome tabs like the Chromecast? Right. So can casting Chrome tabs, I guess we'll add one for AirPlay support, because I know some of them have AirPlay. I have a 360 camera with a battery charging dock that also won't work with the regular USB power supply, even though the lights light up as if it were working. Very frustrating. Yep. Can you test latency? That's a good one. Let's see. Latency for, I guess that's going to be depending on what protocol is being used to share, but let's just start for latency via Chromecast tab protocol. Is that the new Chromecast with Google TV? Good question. It's actually the one that came with the gaming thingy. So I don't know. The writing is very hard to read. Oh, there's a model number on it. NC2 6A50 or D1. Gosh, maybe if I... No, there's no way you're going to be able to see that. It's too small. It's super small. Now I won't even focus that close. No. Will this camera see it? Come on. Come on. Okay, it's right on the side here. There's no way you're going to be able to see that. Google TV is not black and not round. Okay, so I guess this is not the Google TV one. Okay, what other questions do we have here? I have first and second gen Chromecast. I'm not using their bricks. I'm using USB chargers with 5 or more outlets, and one is powered by my amplifier. Okay, that's interesting. Let me grab a USB brick to test that with, which I need in order to power the other ones anyway. So I've got this Anchor 10 port one I got for all the little converters. Okay. Ethernet ability as a column, or is it only the Chromecast? None of the other ones have any Ethernet jacks on them, and I didn't see any options. So I'm going to say it's only the Chromecast ones. Do you know why the original Chromecast HDMI plug has a magnetic strip? Where is the magnetic strip? Not feeling any magnets in here. I'm not sure. Okay. Swapping the Wi-Fi between the devices. Oh, like the little antennas, you mean? I'm guessing these are all the same thing. They look almost identical. On the side of the plug. Really? Is it for like it to stick to something? Huh. Not feeling it grab that. I don't know if that's magnetic though. Interesting. We'll come back to that. Compatibility with non-browser apps. Okay, let's see. Non-browser sharing. Let me actually just make some notes for that. Okay, more people are saying the original Chromecast works off any power supply. Interesting. The newest has an operating system and remote. So that's more like a full-on Android device, maybe. Okay, the one I got working doesn't have password protection on Chrome tab cast, or any of the ones have that. Good question. Password required for sharing. Take a photo on your phone and zoom in. That's a good idea. Will the power supply for the Chrome with Ethernet work with the Miracast? We could try that. Ethernet power supply. Magnets are for storage. Interesting. Okay. Oh, what Wi-Fi's are supported? 5 gigahertz WPA. Aha, this one's magnetic. It must be just so that it collapses nicely. Will it blend? I could end each test with will it blend, although I don't have my good blender here. Okay, which Wi-Fi is supported? 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. WPA? I'm not sure if I can test that here. We'll see if we can. And okay, let me know if you have other questions. Hopefully, ideally, we would only have to plug in one device once, but I have a feeling we're going to have to go back to a bunch of these. So I've got this all now in the spreadsheet. Again, link is in the description if you want to follow along with the results. So let's start with, give me some power up here. I want to see if I can power the Chromecast with this generic USB first, just because that would really be nice to know. So first of all, let's plug in this power brick, and then we'll take their USB. Let's see if their USB power cord plugged into a generic, never get that right the first time, generic USB charger, will it power the regular Chromecast? because I swear I tested this before and it did not work. Okay. Well, that's working now. That's interesting. And it's showing up on that screen. So, yeah, it's definitely turning on. Let me test with a generic USB cable. Maybe that was the problem. Somewhere in this box of cables, I should have a micro USB. Now I've got a lot of lightning cables in here. Come on. Got plenty of USB-C, plenty of Ethernet. There's one. Okay. So, is it that it doesn't work with a generic USB-C cable? Okay, well, that's working. I don't know what I'm talking about then. I swear I tried that before and it did not work. So I'm very confused. But cool. I guess this thing is going in the trash. Beats me. All right. Maybe I just had a bad cable. All right. Well, I'm going to remove that column because apparently it does not matter. Oh, let's try the new Chromecast too. Let's try the new one just to be sure that they didn't do something sneaky. So I'll do the same generic USB cable. And yeah, it's powering up. And it is it going to give me a video signal on the monitor? Yep. All right. Well, while I'm here, that one says, I don't know if you could see it, but on the monitor it says 1080p 60. So we're going to go ahead and Google Chromecast 2, supports 1080p 60, and I'm removing the generic USB power column because apparently that doesn't matter anymore. Okay. So let's get rid of that. And all right, what else we got in the chat? See, I'm using a M5 Stack Core 2. Yep, using this that I built the other day for the camera switching right now. And we'll see how long the battery lasts. It'll be a good test. I actually don't have any macros written for this. I'm just doing camera switching on it, but it's working for that. Are they all micro USB powered? Yes, they are all micro USB. So I can just use the same cable for all of them on the desk. I can't make my Chromecast work with the A10 Mini, only sound, no video. Yeah, that's because it's doing HDCP, which is really silly. We're going to talk about that. We're going to find out which of these also have that same problem. Just want to make sure, something quick, Miracast is a Windows screen share protocol. Does it not support Chrome screen share or from the Mac, to my knowledge? Yeah. So Miracast, I believe, is like Intel's thing that they did for Windows. And but if you look at these devices, a lot of them support multiple protocols, even though they say, not this one. This one is the fake Chromecast. This one, for example, says, where's the camera? If you look here, it says it supports AirPlay, Miracast, DLNA. So I'm guessing this one does not support the Chromecast protocol, but this one, I think, I think does. We'll find out. So, what should we test first? Let's test the Mirascreen G10, which is this one. First on the list. So I'm going to go ahead and just plug this in. A giant fly in here buzzing around. I wonder where that came from. Oh. I should probably plug it in with their thing because it's got that antenna. So I'm guessing that's what that is. Power. Sorry, every time I plug that in, I do it backwards. Powering up, and oh, that was actually pretty fast to show up on the screen there. Okay, it's doing something. Oh, hey, this one is sending 4K at 30. That is interesting. So this one is 4K 30, and it's telling me how to set it up. Use settings to cast on Android. On Windows, go to devices to cast. On iOS, connect to Wi-Fi. Use AirPlay. Mac, connect to Wi-Fi and use AirPlay. And then it's got it looks like it might be broadcasting a Wi-Fi address. Do I see that on my computer? I do. That's interesting. So that's a new column we should add, which is, what is that called? Is that ad hoc? So when it makes its own hotspot, what's that called? Is a hotspot. Okay. So yes. Default password is 1234567 8. Not sure if I can change that. Well, I guess dig into that. AP mode. That's the one. Thank you. AP mode. So it is acting as its own access point so that I can connect to its Wi-Fi. Okay. I want to see, does it force itself into HDCP mode, which we're going to do by unplugging it from the screen and plugging it into the ATEM instead. Is it going to show up on the ATEM? Here. Not seeing it. Interesting. Let's reboot it. Try that again. It was pretty quick to show up before on the screen. Okay, now it's working. So I had to reboot it before it was able to renegotiate. So it could be that it does do HDCP when the source says it supports HDCP, and then because the ATEM says it does not, it falls back into normal mode. So that is what we're looking at. Oh, it's plugged in. I can actually show you that on the screen, on the stream now. So that is what I'm looking at. So this is the G10. And oh yeah, so it was 4K, and it was 4K into that 4K monitor. ATEM does not support 4K. It doesn't even scale 4K down. So it's actually sending 1080 to the ATEM. Otherwise, it wouldn't show up. Okay, so that is also interesting to note. I'm going to say 4K and 1080 in the spreadsheet. Great. Force HDCP, no. So now we're going to go ahead and set it up. So let me do that and then see if I can bring in my picture-in-picture. I forgot to make a macro for that one. And let's make a macro for this while I'm doing it. So picture-in-picture. And I'm going to go and do on air. Oh, it looks like it's mostly set up. So I'm just going to scoot it over a bit, position it like that. Let's do this and then shrink it a little bit more. And X and Y, X and Y, X and Y, size, symmetry, softness. And where's the crop? Why is it cropping? Oh, I think I went too big. Sorry about this. And yes, my head's right on top of the screen. Okay. And then we are going to save that macro, and that is now macro 3. So I should be able to bring that back from my... Yes, okay, I can do it from the little thingy. Okay, we're going to set this up now. So what should I use? I guess I should use my computer. I don't want my computer to hop off of Wi-Fi. That would be bad. So we're going to, I guess, download the, we're going to go ahead and download their app and connect my phone to its Wi-Fi. So it says, what does it say? It says, connect to Wi-Fi, router, or Anycast, and use AirPlay to cast. Download easy Mira app. I don't want to download their app, but I do want to get onto its Wi-Fi. So connecting to the Mirascreen hotspot that it made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what's it going to do? Okay, I'm on the Wi-Fi. And I guess I'm going to go visit its IP address on my phone, which is 192.168.203.1. So let's go ahead and paste that in. That didn't work. 192.168.203.1. Is that what I said? Sure is. Okay. Oh, so it's asking me to connect it to my building Wi-Fi now. Can you see that? It's showing me the list of hotspots. And oh, my GVM LED is in here too. So is that the only thing I can do? Other settings? Okay, I have a bunch of settings here. Ooh, I should show you this. I guess I can cast my phone to the device now. Yeah, it's showing up as a mirror screen because I'm connected to it. And it's trying. There it goes. Okay. So now you're looking at my phone. So I can go back here. This is what I'm looking at now on the web interface. So first of all, web interface actually works pretty decently on a phone. That's cool. Resolution. Supports 4K, 1080p 60. So note that. 430, 30 at 4K, 60 at 1080. So that's good. It auto detected that. Display mode, fit to screen. Yeah, that's good. Language, oh, you can change the password. Great. I don't care about that right now. Change the device name. Compatible mode. I wonder what that does. So anything in the manual about compatible mode? It's also off right now. Any ideas on what compatible mode might mean? It does not have it in the list of settings. Okay. Oh, thank you, Jonathan, for the super chat. I just saw that in the chat here. And my light did, in fact, turn green. Wi-Fi channel. Great. This supports 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. Yes. And it knows about the countries and has auto. Cool. You can even choose the... So that's actually pretty impressive that you can customize all of those Wi-Fi settings. So I'm going to add an other notes column here. And we can say, can customize Wi-Fi channel and bandwidth. AirPlay, mirror, and streaming. I don't know what mirror and streaming means for AirPlay. That's interesting. I didn't actually know AirPlay had any settings. And then upgrade. Oh, because it needs an internet connection to do that. Reboot. Okay, so let's give it an internet connection by connecting to Studio. Connected. So now it's got its own Wi-Fi. Does that mean, but I'm still connected to it. This is interesting. And now upgrade is going to work because it has an internet connection. So that is fascinating. Oh, you should link to this product in the spreadsheet as well. Good call. This is fascinating. This means that it's actually got 2 Wi-Fi chips in there because it is connected to Wi-Fi from my building and I'm on its hotspot. Can connect to external Wi-Fi and also broadcast IP simultaneously. Very cool. Okay, I'm going to add a link in the spreadsheet for, or a column in the spreadsheet for the product. No, so it did. So the reason I say that is because when I tapped upgrade before, the upgrade failed because it didn't have an internet connection. It's able to check now. You can see that it found it's using the internet now to find the version, but I'm also still connected to it on my phone. So that's why I was saying that. Okay, Mirascreen G10 goes here. Gosh, Google, why are you copying formatting from YouTube? That's obnoxious. G12 product. ChromeCast. Oh, it's called the ChromeCast Ultra. That's the one I have. And then the Anycast is this one, Anycast M3 specifically. And, oh, what is that Faux Chromecast? My Wi-Fi network, my phone's Wi-Fi is connected to the Mirascreen, yeah, G10. So that's why, like, you can see my phone says LTE because it's not getting an internet connection from the Wi-Fi it's connected to, and you can see the IP address I'm visiting is the device's IP, and it is still loading. So it's got 2 Wi-Fi chips in there. That is kind of cool. FYI, the Ultra takes 2 amps. The regular takes 1. Interesting. No, this only provides 1 amp output on the power supply for the Ultra. And this one provides also 1. Pretty sure this is the Ultra. Let me double check that. Okay, the Faux Chromecast is the one I'm not sure what it is. Let's see if I have it in my order history. I see the Anycast G12, G10, wait a second. The G12 looks like this. The picture for the G12 listing looks like the round thing. Okay. So this one is the mystery. This one is just called Mirascreen. I don't know what this is, and I don't have a record of it in my order history. And 2 of them showed up. So who knows what that is? Mystery device. So let me see if the link for the G12 is the right one in the description. Yeah, okay, the G12 is the round one. So that's the Faux Chromecast. And then the Mirascreen with no version number, which I apparently got 2 of, I can't find the product link for. So that'll be fun. Okay, and then, oh, I don't have my Apple TV here, so I'm not going to test that. Or I do, it's just over there. And plugged in. Okay, so no product link for that one. Great. Back to this device. What is with this fly in here? It has been here since yesterday, and it's really not fun. It's just been buzzing around, and there's nowhere for him to go. Okay, back to the... Okay, AirPlay works great, yes. What is the latency like? Let me make that big on my screen. Let's see, you're looking at the... Yeah, so you can see that on my screen. When I tap like that, oh, that's fast. There's almost no latency with the AirPlay. Cool. Latency via... I'm just going to say minimal. I'm sure it also depends on... I'm sure it changes over time too. Okay, so... That's AirPlay. Great. Let's turn that off. Actually, now I want to see, can I AirPlay to it from my studio Wi-Fi? I should be able to. So I'll connect to my studio Wi-Fi again. Come on, phone. You can do it. Incorrect password for studio. No, it's not. Oh my God. Oh, my phone just forgot my Wi-Fi password. Connected? Yes, it's connected. So now I should be able to screen mirror again. And that should change to my phone. Great. So now it is mirroring. Oh, and it even thinks it's an Apple TV. Look, it's got a little Apple TV icon. Cute. Okay. Awesome. So AirPlay works great. I don't have a Windows laptop here to test with, so we're not going to do that. I also don't have an Android phone, but I'm guessing they will all work the same. This is cool. Oh, and it's showing me what Wi-Fi it's connected to on the stream too. So it's showing me the Wi-Fi name Studio. Okay, that's awesome. I think we're done with this one. Are we? No, Chrome. We need to test ChromeCast. So can I take my spreadsheet tab and cast it to... Look at that. That was easy. So, oh, you can't see the interface because it's casting only the actual content of the Chrome tab, but it is, in fact, oops, that was the wrong button. It is, in fact, casting my computer screen to the device. Can you AirPlay from MacBook? If AirPlay works from the iPhone, it almost certainly works from the Mac also. Let's see if I can just take it over. Cannot connect. So let me un-Chromecast first. Stop. Now can I cast my Mac to... It's showing up under the AirPlay options. Sure enough. Oh, it shows up as a second screen. That was my home assistant. I'm glad that wasn't anything sensitive on that other screen. Cool. That worked great. So far, I'm pretty impressed, honestly. So, okay, that is that one. Let's see, is there anything else in the list? So, casting in Chrome tab, yes. Oh, I didn't test the latency of the Chromecast. I don't think it's going to be terribly different either. Let's find out. So, now, how am I going to show you this? Let's go back to this display, and if I put that on that screen, then when you can kind of see the corner of my computer screen here. So when I click that, that's, I would say, virtually instant also. Yeah, that is not even a noticeable amount of delay. That's great. Okay. So other questions here. Non-browser sharing. Yes, so AirPlay and Miracast from a Windows, of course. Password required for sharing. No, password was not required because once it's on the Wi-Fi, yeah, once it's on the Wi-Fi, then let me stop sharing so you can see the screen again, or stop casting. So because it's on the Wi-Fi, it's now advertising locally, and there is no password required to broadcast to it. No password. Ethernet. I don't think the Ethernet connection is going to work. I also don't have an extra Ethernet cord here to test that with. We're just gonna assume that's not gonna work. That would be weird. Okay. WPA. I don't think it does because, let's see, there is a button on here, but it didn't tell me that as one of the options. What does the little book say? It is calling it a Wi-Fi antenna. Oh, it's got a QR code you can scan somewhere. Where is the QR code? Oh, it's on the screen, of course. If you download the Easy Mirror app, you can scan the QR code to connect it to Wi-Fi. What does the QR code actually have in it, though? I'm curious. it's a URL. easycast.com. Please download the Easy Mirror app to improve your screen mirroring experience. So I've never used this DLNA thing. Oh my God, it's got horrible ads on it on this website. Whoa. I don't know. I don't trust this EasyCast thing. We're going to just bail on that. So I'm going to say no WPA. Is there an option for a 5.8 gigahertz? Is that the one you are testing? That is... Oh, now I can't. How do I get back to the... Oh, gosh, sorry. You were on that screen forever. How do I get back to its admin interface? I think I have to connect back to its Wi-Fi hotspot. So if I connect to its Wi-Fi, then, yeah, I see the 192.168.203.1, which I believe is here, 203.1, and the Wi-Fi, oh, it's saying can't change channel when connected to a router. That makes sense. Here, I'll share my screen again. So it says Wi-Fi channel can't change when it's connected, which makes sense. So if we, I guess if we disconnect, can I disconnect? Nope. Interesting. Oh, maybe we should upgrade this. Wow. That's, oh. Right, of course the screen share stopped. Downloading firmware from the internet. What happens if you use a normal micro USB cable? I'm guessing the Wi-Fi won't work because they won't have an antenna. Oh, as a choice purchase on their site, there's a 2.4 and 5.8. So I'm guessing this is a 5.8 because it did have that option available. Let me... Huh. Yeah, because it definitely said it has both listed. Let me see if my order history shows which one I got. It's model 5.8. Yeah. Please do not turn off the power. Okay. Is there any device that allows casting without a Wi-Fi connection? In these cases, an elderly person going to the local library and downloading a Netflix movie to their phone. Oh, that's casting without a Wi-Fi connection. I'm not quite sure exactly what you mean by this use case. So, whoa. Well, this is different. Oh, this is better. Interesting. So yeah, with this device, it doesn't need an internet connection to cast to it because I can connect to its Wi-Fi and then cast to it. But I'm not sure what you mean about downloading Netflix movie to your phone. So, okay, so what are we looking at here? Big difference in the layout here, but it's showing me the same information. It's showing me iOS and macOS, you can use screen mirroring. Android and Windows, Smart View, wireless project, screencast. Okay, Google Home cast my screen instead of, that's a new one, and then Easy Mira is their app. Download Easy Mira app. I don't trust their app, so I'm not going to download that. Settings, turn on phone's Wi-Fi settings, connect to Mirascreen, password, open mobile browser. Ah, that's great. It tells me now the IP address instead of me having to look it up from my phone. Let me see what this QR code says now. This QR code is now still taking me to EasyCast. Okay, with all the weird ads on it. So cool. But at least it tells me the IP address on the phone. Okay, cool. I'm glad I updated that. That's a little bit nicer now. Okay, I think we're done with this one. What other questions? Yeah, 5.8 is a weird designation. Can you suggest a Lightning USB 3 adapter or maybe a dock for an iPad? Dock. I have well, for my iPad Pro, I use just the regular Apple dongle because it's USB-C, and then I use the Apple one for the small iPad too. Okay. Jonathan asks, do the Banggood people have a way to let them know we bought stuff with your recommendation? Yes, if you follow my link. So make sure that you are clicking the links that I've got in the spreadsheet and in the video description. Cool. Is it just me, or is it easier to connect via cable than Miracast wireless? Yeah, no, totally. If you have the option of connecting via a cable, that's always going to be a better option for so many reasons. So definitely do that. But the reason that I am interested in the wireless ones is because sometimes you don't have the option of using a cable because it's too far away, or in my case, I'm trying to share a particular Chrome tab, not my whole screen. So that's my main use case for these things. Clarify, the person does not have internet at home. They can use the internet at the library to download a movie via Netflix, but now wants to see the movie on their TV at home full screen. Oh, I see. Right. So with a Netflix subscription, you can download locally, but then you want to play that out to the big TV. A cable would work just fine for that too. So if you plug in a cable from the phone to the TV, that's great. Otherwise, yes, this would work fine. So the they don't need an internet connection at home because this one that we just looked at makes its own Wi-Fi hotspot. So it's telling you here, connect to that Wi-Fi, and then you can cast to it. So yes, it would actually work for that. Once you have media loaded on your phone, you can share to this with neither of those having an internet connection. Got it. Good question. Okay. Let's move on to the next device, which is going to be the Faux Chromecast. We'll see what that one does. Overall, I am very pleased with this one, though. This was a nice surprise. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one off to the side. Let's try to keep these cables a little organized. Not looking at that one yet. Now we're gonna look at this one. So this is the one that says Google Chromecast. It's even got the Google logo, and it's definitely not a Google device. It, however, does not have any other branding on the package. This one is the one that says it's a Mirascreen G12 if you follow the link to that one. So it just doesn't have any mention of Mirascreen G12 on this. So yeah, if you follow the link to in this description to the Mirascreen G12, you'll see the product listing that looks just like this. It does not have a picture of this on the listing. It just says that it's a Mirascreen. So, oh, I guess I do have a picture of the box. Yep. So we are now onto the Mirascreen G12. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same. Let's just plug it directly into the A10 Mini just to start and power it off of their thingy, which has an antenna. Should I try it with a generic thing and see what happens? I'm guessing it's not going to work. It'll probably power up, but it won't have any antenna. Okay, it is lighting up. And I do, in fact, see stuff on the screen. This looks different. Oh, it's telling me now, please use 5 volt 1 amp. This thing should be providing at least an amp. 2.4 amps max per port. Okay, it still says initiating, please wait. Wi-Fi abnormality encountered. Suggest use external USB power adapter to guarantee power supply. So I think it does not like this. Let's go ahead and plug it in with the one that contains an antenna. Now there's a wood chipper outside, so that's awesome. Graham says, I thought Miracast didn't work over wired networks. I don't know why a Miracast would care, but I haven't been able to test that because I don't have any Ethernet adapters for these things. Okay, now we're looking at this. We've got, it's still warning me about the 5 volt 1 amp, but it does not say pending anymore. It now is broadcasting an SSID with the same default password. And it's telling me to connect. Okay, so let's do that again. Let's take my phone and connect to its Mira Plus. Enter password. Same default IP address, which it also now tells me on the screen, which is useful. We're gonna see if there's a firmware update for this too before we get too much farther into it. So okay, 192.168.2031. It looks the same. Oh no, it doesn't. What's happening? It just went black. As soon as I connected to it and loaded up that page, it went black. Oh, did it reboot? Maybe it crashed. That looked like it rebooted. And my phone has been hanging on the display. Yeah, now my phone says connection unreachable. Okay, now it's back up. Let me go back onto its Wi-Fi. It disconnected from my Wi-Fi too. Oh, it could be complaining about the power, which is weird because this thing is definitely able to supply an amp. Okay, it's doing something different now. Nah, same thing. Okay, let me find a different USB power supply. This should be fine. This anchor thing can do 2.4 amps per port. But we can try... I don't know what else I have. Like, that's a good power supply. I guess I can try the ChromeCast one. It says it supports an amp. Let's try that again. So I'm plugged into this extension cord with the ChromeCast power supply powering this device. Okay, initiating. It's still whining about the power supply. Okay, it's up. Let's connect my phone to its Wi-Fi. Mira Plus, BF928C90. And it's showing me the IP address on the screen now, which is good. Let's load up that admin page. Okay, it's working. I don't know why it decided to work now. So what it's showing me now is, I think I can screen mirror to it at this point. Mira Plus, yeah. It's going to work. Come on, yes. Volume, oh, that's a little volume bar. That's weird. I'm not sure I like that. Okay, so here's the admin interface. It's a little bit different this time, although similar. So it's got internet, which it's not connected to. It's only connected to, my phone's connected directly to it. Device name, yeah. Wi-Fi password, you can change that again. Display, game or video. I'm guessing that might have to do with the frame rate it's going to be sending out. Resolution, it is not 4K. So resolution is 1080p, 1280, and 720, which is not great. And frame rate is all 60. It does not force HDCP because we can see it on the ATEM directly. Language, auto, interesting. I wonder how it figured that out. Easy air mode. Mirror only, mirror and streaming. Interesting. Upgrade once we Wi-Fi connect. So let's give it a Wi-Fi connection again. And once we give it a Wi-Fi connection, oh, that's interesting. This isn't good. It's not finding any Wi-Fis. I'm tapping that reload button. It's just blinking. So I've definitely got the Wi-Fi antenna plugged in, and it's warm. I can feel it doing something. This is not promising. I'm not impressed with this one. I'm glad we had a good luck with that first one. Yeah, it can't connect to any Wi-Fi. It can't find any Wi-Fis. May only have one Wi-Fi internal. Right, since the other one could. But if it only has one Wi-Fi, how are you supposed to get it onto the Wi-Fi? Because what it's telling me here is to connect to it. It's telling me to connect to its Wi-Fi. Set Wi-Fi and reboot the device. I can't. That's the problem. Because when I connected to that phone, the place where I went to go to set Wi-Fi wouldn't show any Wi-Fis in the list. Maybe I have to use their app. Is that it? Do I have to use their app? Easy Mira. At least I have an iPhone, so I can be relatively confident it's not going to completely eat my device when I install this. Okay, so Easy Mirror is installed. Allow it to use your location. No. Send notifications? No. It may not be sending enough power to the Wi-Fi adapter. It could be, but it says here to use 5 volt 1 amp, and that's definitely what I've got plugged in. Chris says it won't allow for manual settings. There's nothing to do on this. Like, there's no buttons. I guess there's one button. It's probably a reset button. But the only interface into this is its web interface. So I can connect to its web interface just fine, but then that's it. I can't do anything once I'm in the web interface. So I've just downloaded the app, though. Connection guidelines. Connect to the dongle's Wi-Fi, then enter the password. Use AirPlay to connect your dongle and start your screen mirroring. So, okay, scan QR code and connect to Wi-Fi. So I should be able to now scan that, and it wants to join. Oh, it just is a way to automatically join my phone to that Wi-Fi, which I was already connected to. So that's not super useful. And now it says it was unable to connect, and you have to do it manually, which I had already done. So give me a break. Maybe it can't connect because it's already connected. So as far as I can tell, this app doesn't actually do anything. It says mirror your device using AirPlay. Firebase Analytics, let's turn that off. Notifications. No, this app is trash. Why use Easy Mirror? Nope, 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 nope. What is it doing? It's giving me an ad for a game. Okay, I hate everything about this app. I'm deleting that app. Okay. No. This I am. We're done with this one. Big nope. We learned some things. We learned AirPlay does work, and so yes, AirPlay and Miracast works. I guess I could test casting a Chrome tab, but that means I have to actually get my computer. I have to get my computer onto its Wi-Fi. I don't think it's worth it. No, we're done. We're done with this. That's nonsense. Okay, so I'm deleting that app too. Man, that other one was great though. The other one I was very impressed with. Okay. Well, hey, I'm glad I am trying this so you don't have to. So this Faux Chromecast, big nope from me. Big nope. Which is really funny because it's called the Mirascreen G12, and this one, which we tried before, is the G10, which is a smaller number, so you would think that the G12 would have been an upgrade, but it seems to be a completely different device. Plus, I can't even... There was not even an upgrade for that one. Is this the one? Is this the manual for that one? It's hard to tell. I think it is. So on the manual, it says G2E, which is a different model number. All right. Now we're going to try the Mirascreen, which is this one, which I got 2 of somehow, and I cannot find a record of it in my order history, so I don't actually know the real link for this. But if you want to dig around on the Banggood website, look for this box and this device and see if you can find it. Jap says, the first one says Mirascreen, later one says Mirascreen Plus. Interesting. I didn't see anything called Mirascreen on that other one except in its own interface. We're just done with that one. Okay, let's get out of here. Okay. So yeah, time for time for this regular Mirascreen. So we're going to do in the UI. Okay, yeah, interesting. So we're going to give it the Anchor power supply, which is definitely providing up to 2.4 amps per port, and there's only one thing plugged in. Oh, did you find the link? Let me drop that into the spreadsheet. Thank you. So E5S. Yeah, that looks right. Great. So let me grab the right link for that, and I will drop that into, gosh, how do I do that? Link customizer, Mirascreen E5S. Short link. Okay, here you go. Here's the one we're on right now. I'm going to add that to the spreadsheet as well. Thank you for finding that link. Dame says G12 isn't even listed on the Mirascreen website. Ah, the plot thickens. So it's a knockoff of a Chromecast and a knockoff of a Mirascreen. Ha! Good. Good. Okay. So back to this. We are powering this up. We're just going to go straight into the ATEM and cross our fingers. That is this one. Oh, and it's already up. Right, because I powered it up a second ago. This looks suspiciously like the previous one. So yeah, that's not a good sign. We'll find out if it's done any better. So it's got the same, please use 5 volt 1 amp. Maybe it's just telling me to do that. Maybe it just always shows that. And it's again broadcasting an SSID, telling me to use the Easy Mirror app, which I'm not going to do ever again. And it's telling me the Wi-Fi hotspot and password. So that is step one, is connect my phone to its Wi-Fi, which is again called Mirascreen, and yeah, ends in 496. Password. And okay, as soon as I connected, I don't know if you saw it change, but the IP address is now showing up again, which is the same. 192.168.203.1, and reload. First thing it's doing, scan Wi-Fi hotspot. Please wait, you can't see that. This one has a different version number. Interesting. Okay, so it's telling me to connect to. It found some Wi-Fi already, and first thing it did is prompted me to connect it to Wi-Fi. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And now, oh, you can see it's working on connecting to. You can see it in the little corner over there. A little status up in the corner. Okay, cool. It is now connected. And now it's telling me it's got a new IP address. Look at this. It's now got an IP address on my network. So I wonder if it's no longer broadcasting. Okay, this one has only one Wi-Fi chip in it. One Wi-Fi antenna. When I try to visit the IP address now, the old 192.168, it does not work. So, which is fine because it's telling me its IP address it got from my network. So I should be able to go to that one now. 10, 11, 45.56. Argo says in the top corner, the last one only showed a phone connected to it, no wireless on the other side. Yeah, because I couldn't get it to show me a list of Wi-Fis to connect to. Okay, so I'm on it from my phone, connected to that 10.11 address, which is my local network. So this is already a lot better than that last one. So I can mirror my phone now. using AirPlay. And there we are. And this is what I'm looking at. So this actually looks similar to the UI of the other one, except this one actually works. So we've got, again, we've got the device name, password, display, game or video, resolution. Okay, also not 4K, so I'm gonna write this down. Resolution, same as the other one, and it's all 60p. Does not force HDCP. Great. Default mode. AirPlay or Miracast. I wonder why you have to choose default. Easy air mode. There's that mirror streaming again, which I'm not going to use. Upgrade. Found the it's already at the latest version. They weren't kidding. It says firmware upgrade on the box. So it did, in fact, come with updated firmware. Can you control a Chromecast over its IP address? I don't know, but we should try to do that. But what I do want to try now is casting my computer. So let me unmirror my phone, and we can now cast, because it's on my, should be on my network. Oh, it doesn't support Chromecast. Okay, this one does not do Chromecast at all, but it should support AirPlay from my computer. Yes, okay, so this is now my computer screen mirroring to it over AirPlay. And so we're going to say no Chromecast, yes AirPlay, and AirPlay and Miracast. Cool. Oh, let's load up that interface and see what it looks like. So that's 10.11.45.56. It looks similar. Internet, device name, Wi-Fi password, display. Oh, let's see what happens when we change this to video. Nothing changed. Did it change anything? I don't see any difference. Maybe you have to reboot it for it to change. What was that other setting in the other one? Oh, the Wi-Fi channel. I don't see any Wi-Fi options. Change it to video and reboot. So that's interesting. The no Wi-Fi options on that one. Which Wi-Fi is it using? I'm gonna have to look at my router to find out. Okay, this came back. It's waiting. It's connecting. Connected to my network. Oh, my computer decided to go and mirror itself, unmirror itself now that it rebooted. Okay, great. I want to find out what band of Wi-Fi it's on, so I'm actually going to dig up my router stats and find it in the router, which is going to be wireless. What is the IP? 4556. I don't see it. 4556. There it is. It's on 2.4 gigahertz. So I'm guessing it does not support 5 gigahertz in that case. It does. It even says 2.4 gigahertz on the box. WP, I didn't see any option for that. AP mode, yes. And I think that's where we're going to leave that one. Okay. Any other questions about this one? It seems like it seems like it works fine. It just seems like it's a, it seems like it's like a scaled down version of this first one we tried. No Chromecast and no dual band and no 4K. Oh, latency. So, yeah, let me go AirPlay this again from my computer, and then okay, so I should be able to go. I'll show you this so you can see the corner of my screen, and you can see my screen over here. I'll make this big, and when I go click to this other tab, yeah, same. It's basically instant. It's not. Actually, that's surprisingly good. Yeah, that's great. Latency is excellent. Latency via AirPlay, I'm going to say minimal. It had the Chromecast icon. No, this one does not have the Chromecast icon. This one is just Mirascreen new, wireless display, firmware upgrade, and then Android, iPhone, Mac, Windows. And can it focus? Yes. So function, AirPlay, Miracast, DLNA. I don't have anything to test DLNA with, but there is no Chromecast icon on this one. So now we know. That's great. So this one works, and it is like a less featureful version of that first one we tried, the G10. So I'm going to, overall recommendation, I'm adding this to the spreadsheet. Great. Why is it a link? I don't know what that is linking to. Okay. And nope on the G12. I'm going to say this one's okay. I don't really see anything wrong with it. I thought it showed next to the IP on the screen. Oh, did it show that on the screen itself? Let me stop the AirPlay and go back to that. Does this have a Chromecast? There is a Chrome icon. I think that's just saying to use a browser to visit that address. Yeah, because then on the down in the right corner, there's the Android and Windows mirroring, and then I'm on the Apple. You've got the Apple icon mirroring, and there's no Chrome icon other than the browser. Use a browser to go to the IP address is what it's saying. Cool. I need a macro to get rid of the picture-in-picture. That would be helpful. Let me make that number 4. Drop picture-in-picture. Oh, I need to first have it on so that I can drop picture-in-picture, record a macro to turn it off. Great. Now I have those buttons on my device. Cool. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Okay, now on to the Anycast. So get rid of this one. I don't hate this one. That's something. Great. Last one from this batch. I still don't understand why I got 2 of those, but hey, they're both the same. Okay, this one is definitely called Anycast. However, it came in this bag. So it did not come in a retail package. It came in this bag, and it says, cast anything to the big screen. GH22B is a possible model number. This one looks like it's going to be very different. This does not look like a Mirascreen branded device. So, okay. Here's the device. Same idea with the little Wi-Fi antenna. In fact, I think it's the exact same Wi-Fi antenna. So these also look nearly identical. So we're going to see how different they actually are. Like, they've got the same little marker on the back, too. But this one says Anycast, and it's got a little fake Chrome icon. So we're going to plug that into the ATEM. We're just going to go right for it. Plug this into power. And see if it turns on. Yeah, so far the G10 looks like it's solid. Okay, oh, this is a very different screen. Check this out. Oh, let me get rid of my face. So here's what we're looking at. Anycast, it's again broadcasting an SSID. Same default password, but the screen is totally different. Firmware version, is that the same version number as before? 185600005. It is. That's the same one that Michael found. Okay. So, but it's got the same stuff going on here. So we're gonna do the same process of go connect my phone's Wi-Fi to this device. Oh, are they telling us to use the same Easy Mira app? Yeah, they are. Interesting. Okay. So this might actually just be a reskinned version of the exact same device. The Wi-Fi network is now called Anycast instead of Mirascreen. Same thing is happening. You can see it's showing my phone is connected now. And now it has the IP address. So I can go 192.168.203.1, which is the same as before. Okay, it's doing the same thing. It says scanning Wi-Fi hotspot. It found nearby Wi-Fi's. Going to connect to my Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's not connected to Wi-Fi in the corner because I haven't given it credentials yet. But now it should connect. There it goes. Connected to Studio. Oh, it redid HDMI. Okay. And now it tells me it's connected to Studio. My phone looks like it's not connected to it anymore. Yeah, I can't connect to it anymore. And it is not telling me, it's not telling me the IP address on the screen. So that's bad. That's a mistake because the other one did tell me the IP address. Now I have to go dig it out of my router. So let's see. Can I find it? It's probably it's probably 4557. That's how my router dishes out IP addresses. Yep. Okay. Oh, hey, this is interesting. Let me share my screen to it. So yeah, okay. Airplane over here. So I loaded up the IP address, which is, it's not telling me on the screen, but it's connected. That's all good. Same interface. But check this out. There's a firmware upgrade available. We can upgrade it to 20 instead of 5. So let's do that. So my computer is actually showing me download progress, and now this thing is going. This one so far is it looks like a slightly better version of this last one we looked at, the MX. Because this one, well, other than the fact that it's not telling me the IP address. Let me make a note of that in the spreadsheet. Does not show IP address once connected to home Wi-Fi. So yeah, they all support AP mode. I don't think any of them support WPA. Wait, am I thinking the wrong thing when I'm saying WPA? Yeah, I am. I was wow, good job remembering my acronyms. I was thinking that was the I was talking about the auto discovery thing. So what was that called? WPS. WPS Wi-Fi setup. Is that the one where you like press the button on the router? Yeah. So I'm just going to change my column in the spreadsheet to WPS because that's what I was thinking I was saying. Cool. Upgrade. So it's also interesting to me that the other one that we just looked at, the MX, did not say this upgrade was available. It said it was on the latest version. And this is definitely a newer version. Okay, let me take a look at the chat. Anycast probably made on the same manufacturing line as Miracast. It's on printed logo. Most everything else is the same. The URL is wrong in the spreadsheet. Shoot. Anycast M3. No, that's right. It's called Anycast M3. It looks different. The picture has like RK Anycast. Mine does not have the RK on it, but it's the right link. Okay, it is connected to my Wi-Fi. Oh, hey, the firmware upgrade fixed that, and I'm going to take out the note now. So firmware upgrade, it now shows the IP address that it has, and it's telling me 45.57. Great, so they fixed that problem. And the firmware version is now showing me the updated 0020. So let's go back to my laptop and connect to it again and mirror my screen to the Anycast. It's kind of annoying that the volume bar pops up. I'm going to write that down as a note, actually. I don't like that. That was the same as the everything except the G12. Volume overlay pops up when mirroring starts. Kind of annoying, actually. All right, so let's go through the list here. We've got still display, game, or video. We've got same resolutions as the other one. So that's the same 1080 60. Does not require HDCP. It does not do ChromeCast. It is now updated. And that's about it. AirPlay is working great. As far as the latency goes, it's just as good as all the other ones. Cool. And no ChromeCast. Yes, AirPlay. Minimal latency. AirPlay and Miracast. Password required. None of these have required a password to share into them. So if they're on the network, then you can share into them. So that's something to keep in mind. All right. That's pretty straightforward. So I think this one, I'm going to give it an okay. I think it's actually, as far as I can tell, the exact same as this MX, except a different UI. Okay, let me take a look at the chat. Wait for the upgrade. Maybe they fix something. Yep, they did fix the IP address. YouTube Dave says, love these streams. Thanks. M. Bush says, appreciate you providing the hands-on and studio side views. Better for me than just talking heads. Great. I mean, this is definitely not my normal content, but hey, you know, it's fun. Oh, 2.4 gigahertz only. Right, that's something we need to check. I'm guessing so. Let me check what Wi-Fi it's on my router. Yeah, it's connected to 2.4. So we are going to say yes, 2.4, and no 5 gigahertz. And now it'll be interesting to see what all these are phoning home. Yeah, who knows what they're sending to the internet. That is something that I was not really prepared to try to look for. Let me see if my... Yeah, my router is telling me the protocols that it's using, but it doesn't tell me much other than that. I would have to actually go deeper into the packet capture, but that's, I think, a little bit beyond the scope of this stream. Yes, that is going to be a different scope. Chris asks, did you get a K9 after all? It looks like I did not. Looks like I did not get the K9 one in here. What is that one? Mirascreen K9. I should be able to show you my screen too, because I have all these buttons now. G10, that was the one we like. Oh, there's another G20. That's a fancy looking one. I don't have that one. I don't see the K9 on Banggood, so maybe that's why I didn't get it. So, Miracast is a trademark of the Wi-Fi Alliance and uses Wi-Fi Direct. I didn't realize Miracast was part of the Wi-Fi Alliance. That's fascinating. Okay. So, last things to wrap up with are... This one is fine, I would say. Oh, I should have un-airplayed that first before I killed the power. Anycast, fine. Seems to be exactly the same as this Mirascreen MX. Overall, the G10, so the G12 was a big thumbs down. The one that looks like a Chromecast, definitely not. The G10 seems to be the best one. I was actually very impressed with this one. This one supports Chromecast, so I can share a Chrome tab to it. It has both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, and you can even like tweak what channel and bandwidth it's using, so you can tune it better. It even supports 4K, not that the A10 Mini does either, but that's good to know also just for the future. So yeah, overall, that one I think is one I'll be recommending. $21, no, 5.8 gigahertz, $27 for that one. The other one, oh, computer, come on. The other ones are $16, so definitely a price difference, but $27 is not too bad. I think the Chromecast itself is like $35, so it's actually on par with that. Chris says, did you try the Ethernet with the G10? Did I miss that? I didn't. Let's try that. I don't think it's going to work, but we can try. So if we take the Google Chromecast power adapter, which I'm sure, you know, there's almost no chance it's going to work because it's Google, so they just did whatever the heck they want in this thing. And then we run that to here. Oh, Chris, the Amazon one is the K9, right? Yep. Okay, so it's powered up off of the Google power adapter just fine. The question is, can it get internet? Can it get internet through the wired connection. How do I even begin to find that out? So it's broadcasting a... Oh, interesting. It's not telling me its Wi-Fi name yet. Interesting. Unfortunately, I don't have a Ethernet cable here handy. I thought I did, actually. What is the easiest way for me to grab an Ethernet connection? How about if I unspool my brand new 25-foot Ethernet connection for my breakout box I'm eventually going to build and run this across the room and see what happens. G10 is $15 on AliExpress. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm going to run this over to my, I think my microphone is still working. Run this over to my switch behind my desk. Nice long cable. And so I'm going to plug this in. Let me move my face. The ATEM software doesn't like being resized a bunch. Is it PoE? I seriously doubt it, but we will find out. My switch is PoE, so I could try, but I don't think it is. Let's plug that in. And does anything change? Like maybe it'll get an IP address. It still says 192.168, so I don't think so. Is that icon in the corner changing? No internet, no IP, no Wi-Fi. No, I don't think this is working. I guess we can reboot it. Try it with a fresh start with the connection. And what you're gonna do? No, same thing. I was not expecting this to work. It's a Google. I don't even know what they did in this box. Like this box is this is a power brick, but it has an Ethernet port and a USB port. So I guess it's providing. I guess it's a little like, what is even in there to get data and power over USB to the ChromeCast, but the Ethernet chip is in there. Oh, it is just a USB host. Yeah. Okay, you're right. A little USB hub in there. Okay. So yeah, I didn't think that the non-Google devices would be able to use the Ethernet, but it's good to know. So, okay, that's from that one. That is my favorite one. I like that one. I think I actually am going to switch to that for the chat because I don't have to have the HDMI stripper in the way now, which means the next time I do a tutorial on showing chat in live streams, that's what I will be using. So let me plug that one back in. Do we need to test the other Chromecast stuff? Do we care about that? I know that they have the HDCP problem, so I'm not super thrilled about that. The other downside to the Chromecast, I'm not going to test them because, frankly, I don't really. The only reason I like it was because I can share Chrome tabs. The problem with the Chromecast is in order to set it up, you have to have a Google account. So. And you have to tie it to your Google account, which is I'm not thrilled about either. So, okay, let me pull up the G10, power that on. Did I plug it into the right things? Hello. Would help if my power brick was plugged in. So what I want to just wrap up with, there it goes, is showing you a couple of other cool things you can do with this now that I know which one of these actually works. So the reason I like these things is because of the specific feature of being able to share a Chrome tab. So I can have, let's see, if you look at this is my control room, right? So normally I have my computer screen mirrored into one of the ATEM slots, actually, so I can actually show you my full screen. But then I also want to show you the chat. So if I pull up my live chat plugin, and that's on my screen now. If I cast this tab to the mirror screen, now you can see it's showing you, right, just the chat window. And the cool part is if I go back over to my YouTube window, it's still casting just that tab. So other things you can do with that, though, I'm using it for chat to be able to pop up chat messages on the screen. But other cool things you can do are, if you go to like bigtimer.net, you just get a really big countdown timer, which is great. So now you can just see it's showing countdown. So if I go into my ATEM and set it up as a, for example, downstream key, so I can go ahead and use input 4 as a downstream key. We're going to not mask it yet and show on air. Now I've got a nice giant countdown clock running from a Chrome tab on my computer. And I can, of course, well, I can't scale that one. Let's use the upstream key so I can scale it. So I'll go into DVE, choose input 4, not DVE, Luma key. And I want to input 4. There we go. And it's a flying key, so I can move it around now. Scroll down there. I can even shrink it. So now we've got, I don't know what I'm counting down to, maybe the end of the stream. And now we've just got a countdown clock running. And that is actually being sent via, the one problem with the bigtimer.net is if you hover over it, then the background changes to a dark yellow. But if you give it a second, it'll go away and then it'll get keyed out again. So yeah, but this is why I like it. Because now on my computer, like if you look in the corner, you can see I'm on the YouTube Studio page. So I can look at the chat. But my other tab is busy still sharing out into the ATEM running the countdown. So that's why I like these things. It's a lot nicer than having to use a full HDMI out from a computer as an input into the ATEM. Daniel says the G18 looks similar in tech facts like the G10. Interesting. Amazon. Oh, this was one of the other ones I saw on there. Mirascreen was it G18? G10, G20. That Amazon link didn't show up for me in the US store. Yeah, interesting. So that one's probably a good bet too, if it's got a same list of features like dual band and supports Chromecast and things like that. So awesome. Well, yeah, with that, I think the conclusion is definitely this is the winner. Definitely the G10 with the little gold ring around it. and definitely the winner. So I'm probably going to switch over to this and get rid of the Chromecast at this point, because the Chromecast, well, I guess the Chromecast is kind of nice because it shows you those pictures when it's in idle mode. It's kind of fun just to have that ambient photo display, but this thing honestly is a lot more functional. So your chat is still open in a tab. Well, right now it's the countdown timer, and that's on a tab somewhere on my computer, and it's just happily casting away into the ATEM, which is pretty slick, I think. And yeah, when I do this for my normal streams where I have where I'm using that for the chat, the way I have it set up is the full screen chat with the little custom Chrome extension that reformats the bottom area to highlight a chat. That's cropped in the keyer, so it's just always on the downstream key. It's always there. And because it's a black screen most of the time, you don't see anything. And that is it's how I do the chat for the streams. All right, any other questions? That was fun. I'm glad we tested that out. Oh, what happens if the casting signal is dropped? The screen then shows a connection page, or can it be set to go to a nice graphic like the Chromecast when idle? I don't think there's any options. I didn't see any options for that here. So what is the IP address of this one now? Do I have enough time to find it? 4555? That sounds right. So this one is, right, resolution gives me 4K options, 30 or 60, which is cool. I didn't see that, but actually it has both 30 and 60p options. We did not try compatible mode. AirPlay is auto, display mode, fit to screen, zoom to screen. This has so many more options than the other ones. But I don't see anything in here about what happens when AirPlay stops or casting stops. So it looks like it does just fall back to that. It does look like it just falls back to that connection screen. So I guess that is it's not really like, neither of them are good fallback. Like, it would be better if it falls back to a black screen, so if you're keying stuff, it doesn't just look like random junk on the screen. Because if my Chromecast goes into photo mode, then, and the key is up, you see just a bottom bar of like weirdly keyed out photos. So yeah. Oh yeah, this G10 is the 5.8 gigahertz model because it's got dual band. I'm assuming the only difference would be which Wi-Fi's it can connect to, but yeah, it's got the dual band on this one. All right, up against the clock, 50 seconds. Closing thoughts? Yeah, cool. This is good. I like this one. I do not like the knockoff Chromecast, and this Anycast one, which is a lot cheaper, was fine, and just a little bit more limiting in terms of output options and things like that. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining. That was fun. And probably next time I do a tutorial on the chat plugin, I will be doing it with the Miracast device. Yeah, the Chromecast, in order to get the Chromecast into your ATEM at all, you need to run it through a splitter to get rid of HDCP, which was the main barrier to using those in the first place. And I'm very glad to have an option that does not require that anymore. Okay, good timing. See you all tomorrow. We'll be doing some more testing with random things tomorrow. Goodbye.